Maybe we should stop funding people who, I don't know, see America as an intelligence espionage target for blackmail. Oh, we did. Paul found the trailer for Defamation, so we're gonna roll that, and then let's go to the settlers because what is said in Defamation will just also back up. I think you just heard about the creation of the ADL a few minutes ago. Kurt Metzger was talking about it. This will also tie into it. And are those the same trailer? Both of them, Paul?
One's the trailer,
Oh,
one's the
the
full
full
film,
film.
if in case you wanted to pull clips later on.
Why don't you
Or
drop that full film in the Zoom chat and then the live chats for the streams? Not to get them to go watch something else right now, but bookmark it for later. You would want to watch the entire film of which we're going to show you the trailer. It's called Defamation by Yoav Shamir, and I don't have a year on it, but we will find the year because it's going to say on the YouTube page. All right, so Colby, let's roll just the trailer for Defamation with everyone knowing it'll be in the show notes. You'll be able to watch the whole thing, do all that sort of stuff. So just file it for it exists and be curious and explore it in the future. Then we will go to Kim Iverson with Louis Theroux. The Settlers exposes Israel's apartheid, brought to you by BBC. Louis Theroux, not Kim Iverson.
Anti-Semitism, what does that mean?
It means when people hate the Jewish people.
No way, man. Jewish people control the world.
Being an Israeli Jew, I have never experienced anti-Semitism myself, but it's a phrase that always seems to be in the air.
It starts with an insult, a denigrating statement, and at the very top is genocide.
According to the ADL reports from the last couple of years, the average number of anti-Semitic incidents in the US is around 1,500 a year.
I think the worst thing for me is that it could happen today.
Oh, God.
I agree.
That's why we have to support Israel.
Well, in the wake of October 7th and Israel's onslaught of Gaza, there has been also a huge uptick in settler violence that has occurred in the West Bank. Now, remember, the West Bank is not run by Hamas. There's no excuse of that. There's no hostages being held in the West Bank. Yet violence has increased, 100-fold in the West Bank. It has been a complete onslaught against the Palestinians in that area. There's a group of people, the settlers, large groups of people, various different groups of people who feel emboldened and feel like they can start taking more land from the Palestinians. The IDF has also ramped up attacks against the Palestinians in the West Bank, even dropping bombs. It has been terrible. Recently, a new documentary was released by Louis Theroux. He's a documentarian, and this documentary was released on the BBC. It's about an hour long, but it's been going viral, so I want to show you some of the viral clips that have gone on from the documentary. This is what it's called, The Settlers. That's Louis Theroux there with a settler. He even tweeted this out. Great to see people reacting to my new doc, The Settlers. A reminder that if you're in the UK, you can watch it on BBC iPlayer. We do have the link down below for you to watch the entire documentary. Again, it's 1 hour, and I really think I encourage you to watch it because it is highly informative, especially those that say, oh, there's no violence, the settlers aren't violent, or say things like there's no apartheid going on in Israel, or it's the Palestinians who are the crazies and the Jews are just trying to live in peace. You watch a documentary like this and you realize everything you've been told is a lie.
That was cool. First off, she was so smooth at doing her call to action that Colby didn't even notice, like it had gone into call to action. And I have a Ground News affiliate coupon, but if you're interested in that service, you're welcome to use hers because I don't even I haven't even circulated mine, but I do use Ground News. And if I was taking sponsors, I'd probably do stuff like that. So the topics seem to kind of gravitate toward a point that is tough to notice unless you start getting many points of the picture. It's like a pointillist, like a Seurat type of painting. Up close, you can't see. It's just a bunch of dots. The further you stand back, the further you're standing back, the more Grand Theft World episodes you watch, the more details you're going to get on that big picture. And then you're going to be able to understand it and comprehend it and make better choices, decisions, and figure out who actually is supporting you on your side and stop supporting the people who hate you. That's the gist. Maybe we should stop funding people who, I don't know, see America as an intelligence espionage target for blackmail. Just a thought. But again, never been there. So that's a thing for some people, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, can we take them at their word? I shouldn't even, you know what I mean? It's like they're like, well, yeah, we don't even really care about anybody but ourselves. But then if I say that, then it's like that's hate. But
We, as libertarian-minded, philosophically minded libertarian people, let's say that, not the politics, but the ideas of, I'm going to express my freedom in a way that doesn't take away your freedom, and vice versa. Freedom is the absence of slavery. Any questions? Like, it's not that complicated to like get on the same page and like stay out of each other's way and do our thing. My freedom ends where your rights begin. Your freedom ends where my rights begin. Right? Now, if we just had that on the board and it's not like, hey, your stuff is mine. I'm entitled. Give me your stuff. You go work. You're my slave. Give me your stuff. What do you think? You're the IRS? What They already have a monopoly on that. Also, various types of mafias do those sort of things.
And you have to be sold quite a big story to like layers and layers of story that build your mind into seeing things a certain way. Like in that Defamation movie, they take all these kids, like high school kids
From Israel.
From Israel, and you know, up until that point, they haven't really left Israel and experienced the so-called anti-Semitism that they're told is surrounding them on every
Well, they have like
corner.
a trauma-based schooling system that makes them think that everyone's trying to kill them at all times. Hyper vigilant without actual danger being present. So when they go to Europe,
And they take them to Auschwitz and to all these places, and they put them through the ringer emotionally and essentially traumatize them until it shows one part where the kids have now come out of Auschwitz and they're just like standing around. There's a couple of Polish guys off to the side talking, and one of them tries to ask one of the Israeli girls a question. And the girl goes, "Did you just call me a bitch? I think these guys are anti-Semites." And so you can see the brainwashing takes hold immediately, where it's like now you've been told that you've been victimized essentially, and that you are seen both as a victim and an aggressor. And so it sets up that level of mind control. And right after they do that, those kids graduate and they get put into the IDF. So it's like quite a system to be able to take someone, raise them a certain way, brainwash them, teach them how to kill, and then say these people over here want to kill you all the time. And you know, that's resting on over 100 years of ideology that's built up to this moment where all these things are happening. And it's just like ultimately a big scam.
that's a great way to characterize it. Yeah.
or you could just call it blood libel and move on. That's like conspiracy theory for that conversation. It's the thing that says you can't, like, there's no more conversation. Oh, that's a conspiracy theory. Not what's your source? Where did you learn that? Like, there's no curiosity or interest when someone dismisses a fact by saying, oh, that's conspiracy theory, or what are you, a conspiracy theorist? But that popular vernacular was well marketed by the CIA such that these people pick it up and spread it around and they don't even know it.
That's why there's got to be all these ways to dismiss any of these challenging ideas or create pejoratives that essentially act as shortcuts past your critical thinking straight into your emotional reaction. And then you're just like, la, 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 la. And, you know, if someone can hypersensitize you to the point where all you do is emotionally react, then yeah, hearing this level of truth is going to just shake you to your core and cause cognitive dissonance to the point where you're going to shut down. So, you know, calling back to what Tease does with storytelling, and a documentary like Defamation is able to construct a story around an idea that helps you understand it in bite-sized chunks so that afterwards you've had a full meal to digest these ideas. And suddenly it still might be shocking, but because you've not had the whole thing crammed down your throat, you're able to digest it and maybe process it a little better and then respond instead of react.
Something that'll take a week to digest is next week's title, which should be Digital Sneakers. I would have named this episode had I known that phrase was in that. I didn't make it that far. So this is next week's title. Already done. Thumbnail in motion right now.
twice a year, I teach a course called Autonomy. It's a 12-week course. It teaches leadership, entrepreneur skills, executive skills, all these types of things that I saw were taken out of our education system in order to make the schooling or indoctrination system that we've all probably went through. And it has served us well enough to be interchangeable cogs in the machine of the globalists. But if we want a homestead, if we want write our own ticket, work from home job, work from anywhere type of situation, they're not exactly handing those out at the end of college. They give you a piece of paper and they're like, good luck. So reality is dropping us off here, but the demands of reality are up here. So I created Autonomy to help people close that gap for themselves so they can level up their skills to the demands of the situations that life is putting in front of us presently. Life's demands of intellect and understanding precision and complexity are ever increasing. The schooling didn't prepare us for it. The media is not going to do anything but reinforce what schooling prepared us for. And so we're going to have to take a leadership position and take steps off the beaten path to kind of blaze our own trail in life. What makes the Grand Theft World podcast unique, invigorating, exciting, and informative? Most other podcasts out there are either doing straight up interviews or they're just covering the daily news. They're covering current events from the day they happened. And that is effective. It's useful. It's a great starting point. And then sometimes these current events change during the week past the first story. So we like to give it a little time. You have to wait till some of the dust settles on these stories in order to give them accurate coverage. And the other thing that's really missing in the media landscape is covering the articles that are coming out every day. That's great. That's necessary. But who's bringing in contextual history so that you can understand what has been going on for decades and decades to lead up to the machinations and actions that we see unfolding today? So what we do here on the podcast is we cover current events. Many of these things are censored, but we wait about a week. As a forensic historian, I focused mainly through my career on the history of globalism and collectivism and things that they call maybe the New World Order. There's a lot of facts to these sort of circumstances, groups, events, activities, working groups that they've had over time. So for Grand Theft World listeners, we not only break down the current events, most of which that are censored during the week, we provide you with contextual history, we give you the source notes, the references, we do deep dives, and this really empowers you with an understanding of context and history so that you can make more informed decisions in your life. There's also a community, a membership where you guys can actually ask questions and we can get into the show and we can share evidence. And there's a town hall weekly for Grand Theft World for those who listen to it and are interested in covering the stories that we don't get to during a 6-hour show. Listening to it an hour a day, you could easily consume the week's news, but you're going to have substance and meaning and context and understanding. And with that, you can make higher quality decisions in your life. So if you're interested in more quality in your life, go to grandtheftworld.com, click podcast at the top, and we'll see you there. Thank you.
These allegations are false.
This isn't Grand Theft Auto, folks. This isn't a video game.
What are the most surprising things that you discovered once you started pulling on that thread? Who he was connected to, what institutions he was influential over, what events he participated in?
Come on, man. What are we talking about? Come on, man. No.
You don't have to think about it, dude.
I got this quote because you said you didn't know much about Klaus Schwab. I made it my job to, as soon as this happened, I'm like, okay, this guy's their front man. Let me learn about the official history of the World Economic Forum. I got their 40-year history. I got every book that Klaus Schwab has written or ghostwritten. I went through those books. This is one of the most interesting passages.
Come on, man. Come on.